Okay, welcome to our session 4 for coffee shops and toys. This is our Tekno EB410 build. In this episode, we are continuing on with the front end and rear end assembly of the 410. As you can see here in our manual, we have our sway arms, the anti-roll sway bar, all of our hubs, dog bones, which of course we are using the puck system for these bones, and they are very interesting in their design. A little meticulous in the work. Never had to put a dog bone together before, but it seems to be a very nice design. They're nice and light. They are significantly lighter than the stock dog bones, but they're also supposed to be quite strong. So as we've been going through our instructions bit by bit, we have our sway bar installed in the back, as you can see here. The sway bar is anti-roll bar, actually, is installed and looking quite nice. We also went with the upgraded carbon fiber shock towers for both the front and the rear end. The other thing that was in addition were the aluminum pieces, the bracers, but also the titanium buckles, turnbuckles that you can see here. All through there are a total of 7 titanium turnbuckles, 4 on the front, a titanium turnbuckle for the steering, and 2 titanium turnbuckles back here in the rear end. The turnbuckles were by J Concepts. Not necessarily a cheap investment, $50 for those titanium turnbuckles, but they are a nice addition to the car. Very light, but also very strong. The stock turnbuckles were a black anodized steel, along with the black anodized steel dog bones. So the other thing that we've been doing that I put in here was a modified titanium hinge pin for the rear hubs, along with the aluminum hubs, the aftermarket upgrades made by Exotech. Those aluminum hubs are quite nice, actually, but you can see the capture pin, if I can get it in focus, the capture pin right here, that will not come out of there. There is no way that'll come out of there. You'll have to break these arms in order for that to come out. So that's a nice upgrade. The other thing that we did were this hinge pin set. This is the upgraded hinge pin set that is a 3.5 millimeter pin, up from a 3 millimeter pin. That means that up in here, what we had to do was to drill out. We had to drill out the plastic, and I opted to hand drill it. So I use one of these here, I have more control on something like this. And then once it's drilled out with the 3.5 millimeter drill bit, I use this nice reamer for clearing out the guide holes. You run this through the plastic back and forth until it is glassy smooth, and that allows those pins to slide in there effortlessly. And that also, if I can just take this off of there, you can see, maybe I can't do that. You lift up on this, they just literally drop right in place. They are glassy smooth. There's no resistance on those at all. And that's just perfect. That's just what we want. So the hinge pins, the hinge pin set, the hinge pin capture pin is an upgrade, and the hubs. The front and rear assemblies on this car are very close to being completed. It is coming together quite nicely. Very happy with it so far. Liking the look. It is a pretty extensive build, and a lot of detail work, but it's also providing a significant amount of enjoyment in building this. Both my son and I are enjoying putting this together. We'll be moving on as we went down through. As you can see, we went down through and assembled all of the front end pieces. One of the things that I noticed, the stock settings on a lot of the turnbuckles, they give you the stock settings. Also the positioning in the frame for the stock settings, which is nice. However, getting even a metric ruler like this, on there accurately is difficult, to say the least. So I always default to a set of calipers, and it's easy enough, on your phones and such to look up the conversions for the different settings. I have a conversion chart there for all of my metrics, standard metrics, and thousandths conversions, and that makes the setup on these much easier. You can dial those in exactly to where they want you to be, which is nice. It makes it a little easier. The build is progressing now through the back end and onto the pages for the stock deck. We're going to be changing this up, obviously. The deck is not the same. So we'll be utilizing the MIP sheets that came with the puck system upgrade, and going ahead and getting the center diff assembly in place, motor mounts, so on and so forth, and that will carry us straight on into building our the shocks for the car. And we've got our shock tower over here, assembly tower for building our shocks. These are for a car of this size, this 10th scale. These shocks are large. They are quite large. I'm not sure how well you can see those in there, but those canisters are very big for a car of this size. And everything that I've heard from other people that are building this or have built this vehicle is that the shocks are excellent. One of the things that you want to do, though, is to not stay with the nylon or the plastic caps that come with the kit. That is a weak point in the build. You don't want to do that. Go with the aluminum caps for the shocks. They are not terribly expensive. $18 each, you know, so $36 for the caps. Not terribly cheap, but save you a tremendous headache. Much better for the shocks on that. That will be the next endeavor, is to get the center diff, the motor mounts, the shocks built, and that will carry us on into getting the motor, the electronics, and other aspects in place. Hopefully here fairly soon I'll be able to have my body mounts in place so that I can go ahead and mount my Lexan body, get it exactly to where we want it, and then get that off into the mail, off to my painter, to have him do the custom paint on it. And a shout out to Mr. Custom Paint on Facebook. He does amazing work. Check him out, Mr. Custom Paint on Facebook. Other than that, that's about it for this episode with the EB410 build from Coffee Shops and Toys. We will catch up with you next time. Bye for now.